Everybody. I want to welcome you to my 3 on Thursday. I'm getting everything set up here. Um, I want to remind you that you still do have time to order out of this mini catalog until the end of December. However, some of these items may be discontinued at this time, but you can go ahead and see what you can find. If you do order, please use this hostess code for me this month and remember to hit apply. You can find me on my online store at susieqstamping.stampinup.net, and that'll take you directly to my shopping page. Um, we do have some new product coming, and I'm so excited about this. Um, in January, actually, January 4th, this catalog will be premiered and you will be able to order from it. I can't show you the inside of it yet because it hasn't gone live. Many of you have already received this catalog, and if you haven't, just send me an email, susieqstamping@gmail.com, and I will be happy to send you the catalog along with the little celebration brochure. These are items that you can earn for free when you spend $50 or $100 or a combination of anything. So that's exciting, and I will be having a catalog new product launch walkthrough probably on the 5th of January because I have a meeting on that night on the 4th, so I won't be able to do it then. Um, let's see, it has been a wild week here, getting ready for Christmas, getting our Christmas baking done. My mom was not feeling well. She had taken a couple of falls this weekend. So I took her to the emergency room on Wednesday and we spent all day there. Not Wednesday, I'm sorry, Tuesday. I had her in the emergency room. And then I had a Christmas party for my American Heritage Girls and Trail Life troops. So this is going to be, we're using the new stamp set from the new mini catalog, and it is called On the Horizon. So this is the stamp set, and then it also has a die set that goes with it. I'll pull these dies out and maybe you can see them a little bit better. They coordinate with some of the stamps, like the little boardwalk will coordinate with the stamp. So that'll go, if I turn it around the right direction, that'll go there like that. And then we do have the little, I call it seagrass type stuff, but so that stamp set kind of coordinates with that. We have the birds that you can go fly. The trees don't necessarily cut out the trees, but you can die cut trees that you can put on your that one is, these are little houses. I don't know if you can see those real well, but those are little houses that you could put back in the background of something. But I really like, what sold me on this set was this little fence. I just think that it is the cutest thing, and if I turn them up the right way, they look better. So it kind of makes it look like you're going down a path. So I'll hold them up there like that for you. Then it has some mountain, and it has some other little dies that you can use to make some water features with. So let me put those away. And also today what we're using is a couple of different stamp sets for our sentiments. But on one of our cards today, when I used the little fences, I used the Bark 3D embossing folder, and this is in the annual catalog. So it kind of gives it a bark texture. So I'm going to show you what I did there. But we're going to start off today with a very simple card. This is the first card that we're going to make. Now, I am not making it in the same colors because on the back side of this purple and pink card is a blue. And so I thought, well, I would make a feminine version of this simple card as well as a masculine version. So this is the basic. That was the card that I started with, and this is a very simple card. You will start with a piece of cardstock that measures 11 by 4 1/4. You will score it at 5 1/2 and 6 3/4. And this is kind of like a fun fold card. So it'd be folded in half, and then you're going to fold it back over like this. Grab my bone folder. Sounds like I need to soap up my drawer again, because you want this to be a nice, real good crease on your card. So before we attach this to our card base, I'm going to stamp my sentiment on this, and I am going to use my Stamparatus for this because I'm going to stamp it in Misty Moonlight, and then I'm going to restamp it in clear Versamark and emboss it with clear embossing powder so that it will give that die for the words a really good pop, and it kind of gives it a little bit of shine. So it's a two-step stamping. So I've got my Stamparatus here, and I've already got my stamp lined up. Now these little corner acrylic things, they do not come from Stampin' Up, but I did purchase them off the Amazon website, and they help me whenever I'm doing my Stamparatus and my embossing. So we're going to first do our little embossing buddy here, and then I'm going to stamp it, and then we're going to stamp it again in Versamark. Let me find, there it is. I moved stuff around on my desk, and I wanted to make sure I had my Simply Chamois ready for me to wipe off my stamp. So, and I usually like to lay a stamp set underneath my one plate. It gives me more of an even surface to do my stamping, my inking on. So I'm going to give this a real good press. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm sorry. My name is Sue Sanders, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lake Ozark, Missouri. And I have been in Stampin' Up! Almost a year. It'll be a year in January. And I did not get it quite stamped real good. That's one great thing about the Stamparatus, is you can restamp it as long as you don't remove your paper or shift it. And by using the heavy duty magnets, which they are very heavy duty because mine broke, because they clank together. And I still want a little bit darker there in the center for the happiest part so that it really shows up. So is everybody almost ready for Christmas? We are wrapping presents today in between making some Chex Mix, which is one of my favorite snacks at Christmas time. We don't ever usually make it any other time. Taking the opportunity to wrap presents while kids are not home. So we will get all of that done. And then Saturday, my family is leaving right after we pick up my granddaughter and my son-in-law gets off of work. We're going to leave to go to Branson for a couple of days for Christmas. So we'll be spending Christmas Day down in a villa at the Cliffs. So now what I've done is I've just inked up my Versamark, or my stamp with my Versamark, and I am rubbing that really good so that that gets a nice inking. See, that's the purple and pink that's on the back side of this paper. So we're done with this now, and I am going to emboss it in clear. Hope I'm staying within the camera. I like this technique when you want your words to really stand out. You can emboss it in the color that you want and then just stamp again with the Versamark. And I've got little tidbits of paper in my embossing powder, but that's okay. It'll go away. Clean this mess up so that I don't spill it all over the place. Give me just 1 second to heat up my heat gun and we'll get this embossed, and I'll show you how it really changes the effect of that Misty Moonlight ink on top of that Misty Moonlight paper. So does anybody have great big plans? Are you having a lot of family in for the holidays? Don't forget to leave me a comment once you watch this video. Give me a thumbs up. Send me hearts. I like all that, and so does Facebook. Then they can tell that I'm doing a good job. So here's what it looks like now. So you can kind of see that it's kind of shiny, and so it really pops up off those words. So I'm going to set the stamp set aside, and I'm done with this one. And my paper, so I made this into a fun fold card because I thought it would be, I love this fold, and it fits into a envelope just perfectly. So, and it is cut, the square for the white is cut 4 by 4, and then my designer series paper is cut at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 for my square. And then I have a piece of 1-inch paper by 4 to lay on my side, and then I'm going to put a piece of the designer series paper on that. And so this is a piece of paper that you can do either a masculine card with or a feminine card. This stamp that I'm using, the Wishing You the Happiest of Birthdays, that is from the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set, and that is in the annual catalog. So that is still available. And I'll show you the whole stamp set, what it looks like, because it's got some nice big birthday greetings on it. So even one that is a little late for a birthday. Okay, we're going to take this paper now and we're going to, adhere it to that white strip. So this is what I would consider a very simple card if you're just starting out stamping. You don't need a whole lot of supplies for it. You don't need a die cut. You do need a trimmer or some way to cut your paper. Then just a piece of cardstock and then your DSP. We'll go ahead and attach our 4 by 4 white piece, and I'm just using my liquid glue, and I've got it in a precision point bottle. It just makes it so that I can do finer lines. So I'm really excited this year. My grandson is home from the military on leave. And we didn't get to see him last year, so we're excited that he gets to spend Christmas with us. And that's why we kind of wanted to do something special and go down to Branson, Missouri and see their lights. And then we're going to be going to see the Dolly Parton Dixie Stampede on Sunday. And we'll do some shopping then on Monday before we head back home. So, oh, hear my dogs? All right. Now, to make this card, and I've got embossing powder everywhere. To make this card a book fold card, now you're going to want to take and glue, and you can use your double-sided tear and tape, or you can use your Stampin' Seal. I'm just using my glue today. So now I'm going to glue that down, and I'm going to add another piece of 4x4 white paper. And on the inside, I've got it wishing your best year yet. But you could put any sentiment in there that you want. Let's see. I'm just looking here to see what other sentiments that I have. So I think since this is going out to one of you lucky people when you comment, I'm going to just leave it blank. And that way you can put in whatever wish you would like to. And before we close the video today, I will announce the winner for last week's cards. So don't forget, you have from now until Wednesday, which would be the 29th of December, to comment on this video. And I will go back and look at all the comments that are made. And then on Wednesday, I will pull a winner out. While we're talking about next week and I'm putting glue on here, I think, ladies, oops, good thing it fell on the paper, and it does not going to matter where it fell because it's going to be covered up. So that's the inside of our card. Now, you could leave it just like it is, but I've decided that I'm going to add a little bit of bling to it, even though it is for a man. I love these blue jewels here, so we're just going to add some of these blue jewels around to give it a little bit of added bling. So it just kind of makes that just look a little bit fancier. So that's the card then that you'll get for commenting. So see how pretty those make it? And all I'm using is just the designer series paper and letting that do the talking for this card so that it can stand out. So the next card that we're going to make using the On the Horizon is a card that can be either for a male or female. Get all my bits out here. Okay, this is the second card that we're going to make, and we're going to use that little fence die cut. And then I have on the inside some birthday sentiments. You'll also notice down here there's some little stones. These are with that whole suite of products in the new mini catalog for On the Horizon. So the stamp set and the paper, and I'll show you the whole pack of paper when we get finished here. All right, so what I'm doing is I've got a regular card that measures 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And then I am going to put a couple of layers of paper on it. The first one is Soft Succulent, and that is cut at, this one is cut at 4 by 5.5. I'm 5 1/4. And then I'm going to add another piece to kind of bring out the yellow that's down here in the flowers. If you notice that on the paper. I love this paper. It is so, so pretty. And you don't have to do a whole lot with it. You can just let it be your focal point. I am using Mango Melody. And this piece is cut at Gotta watch it because I got glue over here on this side. This is cut at 3 by 3 3/4. I'm sorry, 5 by 3 3/4. I don't have my glasses on. So I'm just gradually going down in my mat sizes. We're going to attach that to our soft succulent piece. And then our designer series paper is cut at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Now on this, we're going to do a little bit more stamping. So this is stepped up a little bit. So what I'm going to use is this set has some birds in it. And you want to make sure that you know what direction your birds are going. So I kind of look at the way it is in my stamp case. And so I know I can just kind of work it around there on and see. So this is the way it's going to go. And I am trying something different. Normally I always put my stickers on my stamps, but I'm finding that sometimes my stickers aren't lining up exactly, and then I'm having issues with my stamps being, ugh. Boy, I tell you, I am all thumbs today. Okay, so I'm going to re-ink my birds, and I am just going to have them flying up here in the sky. Isn't that cute? I just love that. I think the birds really add something to this. And you can put more or less on. It's just one big stamp for the birds, but you could definitely mask them off. And before that black ink gets anywhere else, I'm going to cover it up. Now I'm going to come in with the tree that they have in this stamp set. And it is 3 trees together. There is not a die for this tree. However, it is really kind of cool because you could have the trees stamped as well as a set of trees cut out. But I'm just going to stamp my trees today. And I am using Evening Evergreen. And I want to stamp off the edge of this. So I'm going to get me a, what did I do with a piece of paper? I had my grid pad. I don't know what I did with it. My assistants to the rescue with a piece of paper for me. Because I don't want this long line here. And I want to put it up here where it kind of starts up the hill a little bit. So I'm going to line that up and just stamp it. And then it doesn't have that whole long line. It just has a very short line to give it that definition. And I could put more trees in there, but I just really didn't want to because of the size of the sentiment that I'm using for this particular card. So we're done with that. I need to stamp my greeting. And I'm going to use the greeting from this set that says, wishing you so much happiness. And that's also going to get stamped in the Evening Evergreen on just a piece of scrap paper here. And this is about 3/4 of an inch wide. And then I'm going to cut it off so that it's not so long, but I have a piece of paper that's going to be a little bit forgiving to me. So looks a little crooked, so let me restamp it.
You're not on camera.
Okay. And I was just informed that I'm not on camera, so I'm going to stamp this And see how straight I have it. Much better. Sometimes when I'm on camera, I think I'm just kind of stamping blind. I think that one looks the best, so I'm going to go with it. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to take and snip off each side on an angle. And I don't really want it that white, so I'm going to take my smoky slate, and I may have put in just a little bit more. I'll try to move up a little bit more. I've got one of my blending brushes here, and I've just got a real small one, so it's not a real big blending brush that I'd gotten before Stampin' Up! Had started selling theirs. And I'm just going to put some smoky slate over that white, just so that it's not quite so white. And sometimes when you've got neutral colors, you don't want it so stark white that it shows up and pops out at you. Didn't get quite so much on that one corner. Let me do a little bit more up here, because I got a little heavy-handed there on the center. Okay, and that's a step that you don't necessarily have to do if you don't want to, but it just kind of adds to it. Now we are ready for our little fence. And there again, what I did was I cut it out, and then I ran it through my embossing folder of that bark. And again, I'm going to take my smoky slate, because I don't really want it white. I kind of want it to show some weather to it. And I'm just going to brush with my blending brush, and you can do this with a sponge or with a dauber. And I'm just going to kind of weather this a little bit. And you can see the texture of it, maybe not real super prominent, but it does show. So there's our little fence. Now this is the tricky part, ladies and gentlemen. Probably the hardest part that I had to do today. And there they are. I took my little scissors, my sticky scissors I call them, which is an old pair of my scissors, and I cut on my mini dimensional sheet just some strips to put on the back of my fence, because let me make sure I'm doing it the right way. Yes. There is a right side and a wrong side to the fence, but because it is a fence, you could do it either side. Move one of those little minis out of the way so I can get my strips. And you just need very, very narrow strips of the dimensionals. And you wouldn't have to put dimensionals on this. I just thought it kind of gave it that dimensional look. Well, it just stuck to my finger. It's not wanting to release off my fingers. But that's why you do just want little narrow strips of the dimensionals on there. And I think I'm going to add one more. To the top up here. And you just want to make sure that they don't show over onto the other side when you stick it down. So I'm just picking off my papers. When they want to come off. They come off when you don't want them to, and then they stay on there when you want them to. Okay, and now I'm going to stick this right here along this pathway. Now it's a little bit different than what my original card was because I used the opposite side of the paper when I cut this down. And you do have to cut it down, so you got to kind of look at your pattern and see which flowers you want to use. And so I thought, well, since I had one that had the flowers on the left, I would do the flowers on the right this time. And then I did bring in some more of our pebble enamel shapes to lay down some rocks. And I used all the little brown ones on this one, and I think I'm going to use a combination of ones today on this one. So there's a little gray one. Here's a different shape. And I'm just going to put it over here. Well, that's different. I just took that whole enamel sticker off the top of that. There you go. But that's weird. We're going to set that one aside, and I'll have to do something with that one. There we go. And we're going to set that one over there. So now we have some little pebbles on our walkway. So now all we have to do is glue this down and put our sentiment on, and we will be finished with card number 2. See the back of that paper? Isn't that pretty? I'll show you all this paper when we get done. But it was so pretty out this morning here. And then all of a sudden this afternoon, the wind started picking up and it's gotten a lot cooler. It's like, okay, I really don't want it to get so cold. And since we're going to be traveling on Christmas Day, I really don't want snow. Normally I want snow just for Christmas Day, but not this year. And now I'm going to put our sentiment on, and I am going to use some pop dots or some dimensionals, I'm sorry. And I know I have some here. And there is card number 2. So that was pretty easy and simple. Not a whole lot of work to that one, but it is a very nice card, and you can use it for a man or a woman, either one. Our next card is also going to be using our little fence. I just think that was the die that kind of set me for buying this suite. So here is our third card, and I did stamp several clumps of trees here, and I used both of our fences, and I made those out of brown. So let's work on this card. Oops, you know what I didn't do? Let's go back to card number 2 because I forgot something. I forgot our inside greeting. So on the inside of this card, I am using the Relax and Enjoy Your Day stamp. Looking for my blocks. There they are. Mary's on. Hi, Mary. Nice that you joined us today. Oh, Mom is fine. She's going to have to follow up with a cardiologist her heart rate seems to be going lower than it should in a resting position. So we got to get that issue solved, and that could be why she falls. Other than being really sore, she's doing okay. Yes, and today's a good day. Yesterday she had a visit from my older sister, so that was really good. Oh, shoot. I got that inked on the side, on the edge, because I didn't kiss it lightly. I smooshed it. So kiss, 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 so that I don't have that problem again. So relax and enjoy your day. And then I used a stamp from Special Moments. Nope, not Special Moments. Yes, Special Moments. And this is also in the new catalog. It is actually one of the celebration gifts. And this is one of the $100 purchase gifts. But it has all of these special little greetings on it. So it's a really nice greeting set to use. And I'm going to use the Happy Birthday. And because this is a photopolymer, I'm going to put my little silicone mat underneath it and stamp the Happy Birthday underneath there. And then I'm going to put the trees. See, I got ahead of myself when I started putting it together. I'm going to stamp those trees down here in the bottom. And I am going to use my scratch pad here because I want to stamp off just slightly, and I want to put those trees at the very bottom. So there is our trees now that we're going to put on the inside of that card. I don't know about you all, but I really am glad that I'm working on other cards now, because Christmas cards I was getting kind of bored with. I couldn't come up with many other designs, and it was like, okay, I want something new. So I'm really excited that we have a new catalog coming out. It gives me some new products to play with and to demonstrate with. And hopefully you've gotten your catalogs and you are making your wish list. So I am just putting that down on the inside of my card. So wishing you so much happiness. Relax and enjoy your day. Happy birthday. Okay, so now I have completed that one, and we'll go on to card number 3. So here you can see I am using the Designer Series paper again from the On the Horizon paper pack. And that is sold in a 6x6 pack. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to be offering at the end of our video today. So again, I have a piece of white that is going to be our border on the front of this card that we can go ahead and stick down. And then I'm going to go ahead and decorate our inside of our card. I am using a strip of the leftover paper, and I'm just laying it down on one side. This is about 1 inch wide by the 5 1/4 length. You don't have to do this, but I just thought it kind of made the whole card come together with having this strip on the inside. Okay, Now I'm using Misty Moonlight to stamp. And again, I am going to put in relax and enjoy your day. But I'm not making this a birthday card. I'm making this card just as a friendship, oh, whatever day. If I can find my stamp. Oh, there it is. I just don't know what I would do without my assistant over here that keeps me in line, because she certainly does help me find things when I'm losing my mind. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this and hope and pray that's not crooked, but that was crooked, so we're going to take it off and start it again. I really think it's my eyesight. Could be that I should probably be wearing my reader glasses, but they get in my way. Oh, all right, I'll put on some readers. They just get in my way. I don't know. I know, people laugh at that, but they just, I don't like them hanging off my end of my nose. And all right, we're going to do this. We're going to stamp it here first. Yep, that looks straight. Try to stay in the camera view. There we go. Relax and enjoy your day. And while we have the ink out, I am going to use the word breathe, because I think all the time we need to stop and just take a breather. And this I am going to put on a little tiny strip. It's about 3/4 of an inch wide. And hopefully I can get this straight the first time. I'll stand up. Maybe that'll help, because then I won't have to bend over and put my head in your view. Looks okay. We're done with that color ink. Clean that stamp. And we're going to do the same thing as far as cutting on the angles. And I did take and sponged a little bit of the Misty Moonlight around the edges, just on the edges, not into the words. And then it just kind of stood out then a little bit better on the card. And it sometimes stark white just isn't what you want. It doesn't, you don't want it to come out and grab you. Now, so that is on the inside of our card. Go ahead and finish that. And don't lose that piece. I do not have a great big studio room. I don't have a great big fancy desk to work on when I'm videoing. It is quite small, so it's once I get a few cards getting made and all the supplies out for them, it's like it takes over my desk. So relax and enjoy your day. Now let's finish the front part. So on the front part, you'll notice that I did stamp the trees. Nope, that's not right. That was card number 2. I stamped my trees and I stamped them off so that they would just kind of show up in the background. Wasn't so sure if I really liked that all that well. So we're going to, and I am using the Evening Evergreen again. So I'm going to start over here instead of stamping the, I'm going to start over here, and I'm not going to stamp off because of the way I had them. It was kind of like they were just hanging out there in midair. And I'm going to, whoops, I don't want to lose my little breathe word. I am going to stamp off like that. And I'm going to put another strand of trees, or stand of trees, not strand. Let's just do it kind of like right there. Okay, so that's a stamped off, and I'm going to do another stamp off, I think. A little bit lighter. Here we go. That I like a little bit better than my original one. You all can let me know what you think. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the front of my card so that when I'm placing my fence and my mountain, I don't have to try to glue it on there once I've got those things placed. I just love this paper. See, this is the back of this paper that we're using. It's always hard to decide what side of the paper you want to use. At least it is for me, so that's why I usually get a pack of paper and I cut it for one side, and then I use the other sheet to cut it for the other side. Okay, now I went ahead and I cut with my emboss and cut machine the dies for the mountain, and I used Sahara sand for my full mountains, and then the evening evergreen for the detailed. And I am going to place them right there, and those are going up on pop dots. I am going to cut off this little bit that is hanging over here, just on that one side. And I probably shouldn't have, but I did. But it's okay. My dimensionals. So I'm using my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to use the mini dimensionals only because they're handy, and I've got them out here, and I'm going to use quite a few of them because this is a long span. And I am going to cut again a little narrow piece of this. So if you use all your dimensionals, don't throw away those outside pieces because they make great pieces to cut for those little narrow things that you'll need to place them on. So we'll pop up our papers. Do you find these papers everywhere in your house? I find them everywhere. We found them in the laundry the other day, stuck to some clothes, just because we'd been working in the room. All right, now we are using both of the sides of the fence this time, and it just kind of shows gives you an automatic little path. I just love it. And I'm not popping these up today. These are going to be just laid flat. And that's why sometimes you need a really fine tip glue bottle. And I am putting them right down to the bottom of my DSP and to the side of my DSP so that they're kind of anchored to the ground and they're not just hanging out there in mid-space. Yeah, like I said, we had a busy week. So Monday we baked. Tuesday I took my mom to the hospital. had our party Wednesday. I worked on my cards for today, and then also went to lunch with a friend of ours. He took Dorothy and I to lunch, so that was nice. So I'm going to use a brown one and a gray one, and then I'm going to use a light one to kind of put here, whoops, put here on our path out to our little meadow is the word I want to look for. Excuse me. And I am also using our little birds again because they finish off that sky. Make sure I have them going in the right direction because we don't want upside down birds. And I'm going to use my black memento. And we're going to fly the birds over this direction. So there is our birds. Cute, cute. Now, if I can remember where I put my little breathe. There it is. Stuck with the other card. And now I'm going to put breathe up here in the top. And I'm not going to pop it. I'm just going to lay it flat. And this card is almost all done. Very easy and quick. Doesn't take much, but it does look very, very nice. And I could add some more stones if I wanted to, but I think the 3 is really good. So there is our cards for today. Here is, move my messy stuff around here so that you can get to see them. I better cover up my black ink before I end up sticking my whole hand to it. Card number 3, card number 2, and card number 1. And all 3 of these, and this was the original of card number 1, but you will be getting the blue one. I was kind of trying to go towards masculine cards today. We always have a hard time, so whenever I can come up with ideas for the masculine cards, I try to do that. So this set would be a fantastic masculine set, new on the horizon. So now let me show you. So this card and this card and this card can all be yours if you make a comment on my video and your name is drawn out of the magic hat next Wednesday. I am thinking about taking next Wednesday or next Thursday off and not doing a live. There are a lot of things that I need to get prepared for the new year. So I will let you all know via Facebook if I'm going to do a live video or not on Thursday. Otherwise, I will see you back after the first of the year. I want to show you, I am offering a paper pack share or a paper share. And what a paper share is you will get 12 sheets of all of this paper that is in the new catalog. And I'll take each one out separately and show it to you. You will get 12 by 12 sheets. When I cut mine to be the 4 by 5 1/4 sheets. That way I just don't have to do any more cutting whenever I go.
6 by 6. Cut 6 by 6 or 12 by 12?
I'm sorry, they'll be cut 6 by 6 from a 12 by 12 sheet. However, there is one pack of paper, and I believe it is this one that comes 6 by 6, the Abstract Beauty. It doesn't come 6 by 6, I'm sorry, it comes 4 by 6. So the Abstract Beauty is a new size. The New Horizon comes 6 by 6, but you will get a sampling of that, 12 sheets. So you get 12 sheets of all of this paper, so it's like 96 sheets of paper for $33 plus shipping if I have to ship it to you. If I can meet up with you or I give it to you at a class, then you don't have to pay any shipping. It's just the $33. So here is the paper. This is side A, side B. Side A, side B, and this is the On the Horizon paper. Side A and B. So this paper is just, to me, it's beautiful. This is side B, and this is side A. I used one of these sheets today, so that's why you're not seeing both of those sides. And then this is another sheet. I guess that's the, yep, that's the sheet that goes with that. It's an all purple. This is the sheet that I used today where it was the blue on one side and then the, I didn't use this one today. Thought I did. Well, anyway, ladies, you will get a sampling of all of this paper if you join my paper share. So that's 2 sheets there. Or maybe I just had my papers mixed up here. I did. There's that. And then here's that. And then it was the other sheets that had the blue and the Blackberry Bliss and the polished pink. So that is the New Horizon, or On the Horizon paper pack.
New Horizon.
New Horizon? Oh, yes, it is New Horizon. The one pack that you did, or the one paper that you didn't see was this paper here, because I cut it. So those are the 2 sides for that. Okay. And that coordinates with the polished pink, old olive, evening evergreen, soft succulent, misty moonlight, and blackberry bliss. Okay. Now the heart and home, you will also get 6 by 6 pieces of this, and this is the paper that you would get with the heart and home. So on one side you have a floral, and on the other side then you have a wood grain that you can do a lot of different things with. I love that green. And the honeybees. And this stamp set and die, it will cut out those bees, so that's kind of a cool added feature. So that is the Heart and Home paper pack. You would get a sampling of that, 6 by 6. And they all come packaged in packages like this, all labeled with the colors that they coordinate with Stampin' Up. Here is Abstract Beauty. This comes already in a 4 by 6 paper pack, so you would get a sampling of this. All right. So you would get at least 12 sheets, but I can't guarantee which 12 sheets you would get. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so this is side B and this is side A with the flowers and the gold. See, I have them mixed up, so I'm not. That's another paper. And this one here. So joining the paper share is beneficial to you because there may be some papers that you don't really like one side of, but you like the other side. And then it kind of gives you an opportunity to see the paper in person and up close. So you can see, I must be missing my gold piece then. Yes, there's the gold backing, its little pink flowers. I've moved my paper around so it's like all mixed up. This is the green and little specks. But these are really pretty papers too, and it all has gold specks in it. So this is considered a specialty paper. There's black and gold and pink. And there's that set. This set. And then gold stripe with black. So this is another very pretty paper pack, and you will get 12 sheets of that. Yep. Those are 4x6. Okay. Here is for those sports fans out there. Even if you're not a sports fan, this paper can be used for masculine cards. There's baseballs, stars, tickets, little red arrows. That's some more tickets on the blue. And we have the baseballs with the sunshine. There's the red. And we have red stripe. So there's a lot of paper. Even if you don't like the printed part, you can use the backside, which is more of a everyday type of paper. So that's Hey Sports Fans. And there is 8 different paper packs. So like I said, $33 is a good price. It's like 1/4 of what you would pay if you bought all of the papers, all of the different paper packs. So here I think I have these all the same, matching the front and back pieces. And this set, the dies will cut some of these leaves out with that suite of paper and the stamp set. Off the top of my head, I can't. It's Artfully Composed is the paper pack. I think it's Artfully Composed in the catalog for the stamp set. So here again, while the leaves and things tropical may not suit your needs, you have some very pretty paper that doesn't have anything to do with flowers. So it's just a plain and simple one. Yes, the stamp set is called Artfully Layered, and there is a bundle for this so that you would get the Artfully Layered dies and stamp set, and then you can get the paper either in the paper share or buy the entire pack. And this is a specialty pack as well. It has the gold foiling through the paper, but it also has just plain on one side. So if you didn't like the design on one side, you would be able to use the other. I love these flowers. They're just so nice, bold, and colorful. But I also like the other side that looks kind of like a stone with gold through it. There's some bamboo. And then here's the cranes. And on the back side of that, some more flowers. So this is the Symbols of Fortune. And that's also sold in a suite with a stamp set and a die set, I believe. Here is the Sweet Talk, and this is sold in a suite. So you have purple stripes, all kinds of hearts. And don't get me wrong, ladies, you do not have to use these for Valentine's Day. You can use these for anniversary cards or for wedding cards, because the back sides of these are plain. But they would make up very cute Valentine boxes or little bags to give to special little friends or your grandchildren. So even though you may not like one side of it, that doesn't mean that your recipient isn't going to like it. And this suite also has dies that will die cut some of the heart shapes from the paper. So that's getting more bang for your buck when you figure that you can do that. And our last Our last paper that would be included in our paper share is the Flowering Fields. And remember, you're getting just a sampling, so you're not going to necessarily get the design that I show you here because of the way the paper is colored. But believe me, you will get one side of the paper that you will really, truly, truly love. And these are all kind of tulips, and it's got green grid, it's got pretty orange and yellows, the purples. I love that. And again, this paper can just be used as the whole focal point of your card. Put a sentiment on it, put a little bit of embellishments on it, and you've got a card already. You don't have to do a whole lot. So those are very simple cards if you're brand new to card making. All right. So if you are interested in the paper share, please leave a comment in this video so that I can contact you and give you the particulars. I will be ordering the paper for the paper shares on January 4th. So I do need to know how many I'm going to be looking at. So if you could drop me an email or even a comment here, I will be checking it. Again, my email is SusieQStamping@gmail.net, or is it .com? I always .com. I always get confused.
SusieQStamping.com.
SusieQStamping.com. I have so many different.
Oh, that's your blog.
That's my blog. SusieQStamping@gmail.com. That's my email address. So here are our cards that we made today. Ladies, I thank you very much for coming in and watching today. Our winner for last week's cards is Karen Bond. She won the drawing. So these are the cards that she will be getting that I demonstrated last week. And this was using the silhouette stamp. So here are the cards from last week. So be sure to leave a comment because you never know when you might be the winner for the 3 cards I make on Thursday. Ladies, until next year, have a Merry Christmas. Have a safe and happy New Year's. And I will see you back on the first Thursday in January, which is going to be January 6th. If things change and I get a harebrained idea that I want to come live, I will put a notification out there on Facebook. So until then, everybody, bye. Have a Merry Christmas.